So we're back here in the exercise facility where, here at the Johnson Space Center, where the astronauts train on the equipment that's on board the International Space Station. Here I am on the ARED, which is also called the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device. This piece of machine, it looks like a behemoth and is very intimidating. I'm actually going to attempt it, but it is a what simulates weightlifting here on Earth. And so here with me today is Bob Tweedy. He's one of the trainers, one of 3 trainers that trains the astronauts on how to use all of the equipment that's on board the International Space Station. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you.
So let's get to it. We're going to go first into one of the exercises. There's many exercises that we can do on this, correct?
That's correct.
So we're going to start with some leg exercises. We're going to go with a squat, because I'm daring like that. And we're going to go here. First, I want Bob to explain to us a little about how this works, because obviously in space you're not going to feel weight. So I'm actually going to adjust the load, and he's going to explain how this works.
So what you're doing here is adjusting the load. This is a zero gravity weightlifting machine that can provide up to 600 pounds of resistance when you use the lift bar. It can also provide an additional 150 pounds of resistance if you use the cable, and I think you're going to demonstrate some of that as well. The load is provided by 2 cylinders that contain a vacuum, so you're constantly pushing and pulling against the vacuum.
Okay. And emphasis on 0, because I just put it down to 0.
Ah. Okay.
All right.
So go ahead and get under the bar and just position yourself for the squat.
Okay. And we're going to take it off the rack?
Take it off the rack.
All right.
Stand up. Slide your feet back just a tad.
Like that.
And you are ready to go.
Ah! I did that for a
very good lift.
Actually, this is it works. I can feel it. I feel the burn.
Yep.
So can you tell me, does this feel any different here as it does in space? Does it feel the same? Do you know?
Well, having not been in space, I can't tell you exactly, but the load is constant, just like free weights would be on the ground or in the gym. The crew members would dial in a load that would be appropriate per their prescription.
Okay.
And they're coming back in really, really good shape. So we like the effect of this machine.
And so typically, how many do they do? Reps, sets?
Oh, they'll do.
Go ahead and rack this.
Yeah, you can go ahead and rack it forward and then down, and then good.
So typically,
they will do 3 sets. 3 sets of 10 is probably the standard, but it could be 4 sets of 12. It could be 3 sets of 6. It all depends on if they're doing a heavy day, a medium weight day, or maybe a light day with more repetitions. So there's some variation in the
Okay, so it just depends on the astronaut and what his or her prescription is.
Right, that's exactly right.
Okay, great. So talk to me a little about what exercises. We'll go ahead and break this down, if you will.
Okay.
We'll get ready to do some arm exercises, but tell me a little more about the different exercises that we can do with this machine.
You can do pretty much anything on this machine that you can do on the ground. The big lifts that we focus on are squats, which you just did. We can do heel raises, deadlifts, and a wide variety of cable exercises. There's also a bench that we can attach to the platform.
Are you cranking it up?
I'm cranking it up because
you're killing me, Smalls.
You need to do this.
Oh no. All right.
So there's an exercise bench that can be attached to the platform, and you can lay on the bench and you can strap in and you can do your typical bench press. You can sit on the bench and do presses, overhead presses. So a wide variety of exercises that you can do, and the great thing is that the load is a constant load. So
that's interesting. So a lot of these exercises, are they all isolated? Are there any complex exercises that can be done?
We try not to get too complex with the machine because isolation, what you said, is really important. When you exercise on the machine basically free floats away from the station structure on a system of rails.
Okay.
And you can excite that system if you do certain lifts. And the reason why it free floats while you're using it is because you don't want any forces that you produce as a user to be transmitted into the structure of station.
Okay, great. So what are we going to do first there?
You're going to do bicep curls.
All right. I'm ready.
With the cable.
And so which exercises do they do daily, and as opposed to which ones they do you know,
Right.
alternate.
Every day they'll do some form of squat, like the regular squat that you just did. They may do a squat with a wide stance, squat, and they can do a single leg squat.
Okay.
Squat
and so there are different variations of each exercise as well.
That's right.
And I understand that the lower body exercise is pretty important significantly for astronauts on the space station, and why is that?
Well, bone loss, as a lot of people know, is a huge issue. We see the susceptible areas are the hip area, and lifts like squats, deadlifts, really provide good loading to those problematic areas. And so you'll see typically crew members do some form of squat or some form of deadlift pretty much every day. And those are typically high load. They'll crank the load up pretty high when they do those too.
Okay. Show me some more.
Now you can go ahead and just switch over your grip and then put your hands relatively close together, and then you can kind of go up and do an upright row.
And this is working out what?
Okay, stand a little bit closer and stand up straight. And here you're going to come straight up.
Ooh.
And you should feel it in the shoulders.
That's where I'm feeling it. And so what else can we do with this?
Okay.
We can do several exercises with just this bar even.
Absolutely. Another one you can do is you can widen your grip just a little bit, bend over at the waist with a straight back.
Okay.
And then just row that bar right into your stomach, and you can get the muscles in your back, upper back.
Well, I'm definitely feeling the burn. You know, I have to wonder, and I don't know if you've been able to talk with any of the students on the space station. I am winded, and so I don't know if you've ever talked with any of the crew members who have done this, and if this is kind of a welcome feeling in space when you're, you know, in microgravity, to actually kind of feel some kind of weight up there.
Everyone that I've talked to, and that's about all of them, really, really enjoy the time they have with this machine on station. You know how good it feels, or how good you feel after a good workout. You seem to be more energized, have time to do other things. They love it, they get a great workout, and they really appreciate it.